We are back. Episode 34. Special 33?
Not 34, you're right.
Episode 34.
That's
we
a
are
good number.
on site. I guess it's Virtual Walker. That's only 34 I recognize. We are on site at Moon Golf here in Auburn, Alabama with Ann Moon and Randy Aldridge. I'm in human resources for a reason.
He's HR.
Not bad for an Alabama guy, right?
That's right. Today we have a very special guest joining the show, and we're very thankful that she has allowed us to set up all of our equipment in the brand new store here in Auburn. If you don't already know where we're at, we're in Moon Golf, like Zach said, about 20 minutes from our hometown. And on tonight's show, we're going to talk with Ann Moon about playing collegiate golf here at Auburn, opening and operating multiple golf equipment stores, and the direction that golf is heading right now. Ann has a very interesting story about how she met her husband Dan at the Auburn Links, and the story ends with her beating him in a match for the first time they ever met. So the first question I have tonight is, are you still undefeated against him, or has he gotten some revenge?
Well, we've been together for 22 and a half years, and out of the, I don't know how many rounds of golf we've played, hundreds, probably closer to 1,000 rounds of golf. He's beat me 12 times.
Okay.
Of course I'm counting. Why wouldn't I count? You know, when we started dating, my mom always said, you know, every once in a while you should let him win. And for those that know me, know that that's just absolutely not in the cards. So
That's how they book it home for every loss that she
I
has.
had this in the notes later, but do you give him strokes?
it depends. Sometimes, yes. It depends on how he's playing. It depends on where we're playing. It depends on how I'm playing.
And the mood of the day.
The mood of the day. You know, usually if he gets off to, if I bogey the first hole, which will happen because we're not really one to go to the range and warm up. We just go to the first tee and go. But if I mess up on the first hole, and let's just say he makes a par, he gets a little arrogant. He gets a little pep in his step, and that's when I know I have him. So he's never beat me after winning the first hole.
Ooh,
That's a fact. Even though he's not here to defend himself, you would absolutely agree with that. He's not here. He's not here. But it's true.
How often do you play now?
Before we decided to move back up here to Alabama, I was actually on a little run 2 to 3 times a week, which was awesome. And one of our business partners, mentioned, if you open this new store in Alabama and move and take your whole family and start over, you are starting over. So our 3 stores in Florida operate very well. We have a great team down there, great leadership. And we had kind of gotten to that point where that flexibility was very present in our lives. So I've played 3 full rounds since June, since moving up here in May. 2 of them were actually last week, one of them with this guy. So right now, not a lot, and probably won't play a lot for the next couple months, but any chance I get, we definitely get out there.
What kind of score are you shooting now?
We're just, for a question we're asking later in the video, we need to know some details now.
Well, Tuesday, we went up to Birmingham, played the Club of Birmingham, which is an awesome track, and none of us played great. I still think I beat everybody. I shot 80. But none of us played great. It was wet. It was just everything played a little long. It was the first round I'd played in a while. And then Thursday I shot 73. So
so we're in line for where we're going with this.
I would say I'm a 5 to 6 nowadays.
That's what we need.
That's what we need.
Because we do a 4-man, 4v1.
We're going to get that later. We're going to pitch that later.
That's one of the numbers we need.
Real quick, though, you're sitting here with Randy. So how did y'all meet, though, you and Randy? Or how this?
Well, this is kind of a fun story. I like telling it. He sometimes tells it a little differently, but a couple of years ago, so let me back up a little bit. Dan and I are both from Birmingham, Alabama. We obviously went to Auburn, but I've grown up going to Lake Martin my whole life, really since I was about 8 or 9 years old. And it's kind of always been a dream of ours to have our own little place there. So a couple of years ago, when the market was more attractive for buyers, we found a place, and we were living in Florida still, so we had no plans of this. This did not exist, but we were going to get a lake place, obviously, for down the road. We spent that first summer, the entire summer, up at the lake, and we had to have some help decorating it because I'm horrible at that stuff, and how was I going to do it from Florida? Yeah. So Randy's wife was actually part of the team that came in and helped us pick out things for this new space because it was completely empty. And I think I was rocking a Moon Golf t-shirt or a hoodie or something at that time. And so she asked me a few questions about what Moon Golf is, told me that her husband's a nerdy, avid golfer, and and she didn't really elaborate on what you did at that time. But I don't know. A few months later, I got this random email, and hey, this is Randy Aldridge. My wife decorated your house, and he kind of was more inquiring about his concept, and I'll let him dive into that in a little bit. And he'll tell you that I told him to kick rocks because he said, hey, are you thinking about bringing the store to Auburn? And I said, well, I mean, obviously not at the time. At the time, it was not part of the plan. And then we spent the whole summer there at the lake, and I came down here and had dinner with the golf coaches, the women's golf coach and the assistant one night. And I'm just driving into town, and it's like, gosh, Auburn's just so different than when I was here, and even 10 years ago. And we actually ate at Bow and Arrow right down the road from us. And I called Dan and I said, hey, I'm going to say something. I don't want you to say anything, nothing. And I'll call you back after dinner. And he's like, okay. And I said, well, I think we need to open a golf store in Auburn. I think we need to move here. I love you, bye. And I hung up, legit hung up on him.
We're so happy you did.
And, well, we are too, but that's kind of how, this whole back and forth between Dan and I started going, and then down the road I called Randy, and I said, hey, we're coming back up to the lake for Christmas. I think we should get together, and so here we are. And it only made sense for our businesses to kind of be together. It kind of is just one step further to making us even more full service. So I'll let Randy dive into, his side of it. But, yeah.
That's pretty true. I mean, she basically within 2 months, she went from we're not interested, no plans, to hey, why don't we meet and have coffee? And we had coffee, and she said, well, maybe one day, but probably not anytime soon, to within 3 weeks, she said, we're coming to Auburn. I'm looking at space next weekend. Let's meet up. So
maybe a month after that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So
it's actually after Auburn wore out Alabama on the basketball court, and I realized right now.
Yeah,
Alabama's got a good team.
Yeah, let's don't talk about basketball.
But that's when I found this space. Was February 11th, I think, was when Auburn and Alabama played, and this.
I don't know. When they come here, it's a small stadium. They pack it full.
1 by 20, I think. Something like that. I mean, it was rocking. But this place was structural steel when we found it, and I think I told you to come over and look at it, and we were going to go for 3 units, and then I was like, no, we need more because we had to make sure we had the right layout and the space for Randy as well. So it's been an awesome first 6 weeks. I think
absolutely.
I think the lease process was about every 2 or 3 weeks. Have you heard anything yet?
I kept thinking she was ditching me.
No, it just was a lengthy process negotiating everything with our landlord and really, with how we wanted the space to look. So we had to work all that into the lease and make sure that they were good with it. And it's been good. And we were only delayed by 1 month in opening because we needed the internet. Believe it or not, that's what delayed us a month. But here we are.
So it's weird how things work though. If my wife doesn't decorate her house,
never.
It just doesn't happen. For me, I mean, they probably would still be here, but the concept and what we're doing.
About Full Swing, because that's so cool.
Yeah,
that would be kind of a good question. So if you had never met his wife, would this have happened? Do you think it still would have happened?
I think.
Just say no. It's a better story.
I think, honestly though, I think, as much as he's loves the game, and as much as he's probably on top of what's happening in the business, if he had learned that we were coming, it wouldn't surprise me if he had still reached out.
He's a cornerstone now.
That's right. That's good words. Good words.
It's our HR.
Yeah. We'll just go with it. Thank you.
Randy, if you want to give us a brief overview of
I can give you the 30-second. Yeah.
Well, you can go.
No, you can elaborate. Yeah.
Okay.
This is unlimited tape.
Yeah, unlimited.
Full Swing. What I do is, in fact, my wife came up with the name Full Swing. So not only did she introduce us, she came up with my name and my business.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Can you? I mean,
So she's the foundation of
really,
Moon
she's
Golf,
the cornerstone.
essentially.
And anyone who knows me and my family knows she really is. So shout out to my wife. 29 years Sunday, by the way. So, but full swing, I'm a physical therapist. I've been a physical therapist for 30 years. And so I've spent a lifetime studying bodies in motion and working with athletes and working with people of all ages, trying to help them to move better and perform better with whatever that is. And since COVID, I've kind of really fallen in love with golf. I just started playing all the time and tracking my handicap and just went crazy, nerdy about it.
What is your handicap currently?
Currently, it's a 6.0.
We'll talk to you later too.
So
Just say us four versus them two.
Oh god, we'll get whooped. Anyway, go ahead.
this sounds fun though. So bottom line is I've started taking classes through a Titleist Performance Institute, which is TPI. A lot of people are familiar, and just started growing this vision of having a performance clinic where I look at people, look at their mobility and strength and power, and have 3D motion assessment of their bodies and how they move, and do exercises and manual techniques or whatever it is to help them play better golf. And when I met with Ann, I think the whole thing of their idea of customer service, of individualizing clubs, and because that's what I do. I just don't hand you an exercise program that you can get anywhere on the internet, but it's, hey, let's really assess what it is that you need for you to play better, not for anyone to play better. And so it's very detailed. It's very objective. We don't guess. That's when. It's really loud. We don't guess, we assess is what we say. We're going to guess at what your power is. We're going to know, do you develop power out of your legs? Do you develop power out of your core? Do you do it very well? Where do we need to, make you a better golfer? And so they loved the idea. I think the way we treat people and our business concepts really fit together well. And so I think it's proven to be true.
So far, so good. And guessing, I mean, that's something that on our side too, like this is not a inexpensive hobby that people have, right? So,
Don't tell my wife, please. She thinks it's cheap.
It's only gone up. I mean, the prices, you've seen pricing go up, and some of our competitors will have 90-day playabilities and whatnot. We're obviously not really in the position to do that, but our fitting process, if you go through our process and for whatever reason you're not happy, we'll guarantee our fit. But we encourage, I mean, there's rarely does somebody come in here, just grab a driver and walk to the front counter, and if they do, the question's going to be asked, hey, would you like to try that? Have you tried that? We want to make sure, because we don't want you to guess, you can make some costly mistakes by doing that on our side. So.
Be like Casey.
Get out of here. Zach's already scheduled a session with Full Swing.
Yeah, so we'll do a full swing overview, some highlights for that to showcase that. And we've already I've done a fit in here, and my brother's done a fit in here. He did 3-wood, so I mean we've already experienced it.
He says that every
He
Right.
Let us know what his vertical is. I'll be curious.
I told him about 3 inches. That's all I got. No more hooping days.
We'll get it better. How about that?
I'm down to work.
He needs it. Where we at, Brady? Go ahead.
We can backtrack a little bit. And when you were in college, you picked to come to Auburn over Alabama. You were from Birmingham, so that was a lot longer drive down here. What was the reason, I guess, for all of that?
Well, the fun reason is, war damn eagle, right? At the time, I went on my trip to Alabama. At the time, Auburn had a better program. Auburn had better facilities. I knew I would grow and improve as a golfer coming here and being challenged with a more competitive team. In my second year, we signed Danielle Downey and Celeste Trochet, and that kind of rounded out our program. And we were solid for the time I was there. I think we had 2 SEC championships. I fit in better here as well. Yeah. My whole family actually went to Alabama. They weren't
good people.
A lot of them did. They weren't. They were kind of like thought I was the biggest trader in the world when I came here, but they didn't pay attention to the fact that ever since I was born, because if you're from Alabama, you're born, you choose. you know,
Day
Bo
one.
Jackson fan, right? And this is, are you sure this is episode 34, right?
Yeah, 34.
All right,
30,
well,
34.
Right? So my dad and I were always Auburn fans.
Charles Barkley.
I
Damian
connected
Harris.
very well with Coach Evans, and you know, super grateful for the opportunity she gave me 20 plus years ago. She and I are still very close today. She's been a big mouthpiece for Moon Golf here in Auburn, but also for Full Swing.
That's right.
And,
She went through the
she's-
program the other day.
Yeah, she did. She did. She's got her marching orders for sure. So
Absolutely.
I don't think she's happy about it, but she's got it. So yeah, that's at the time, yes, a better program. And Alabama has a great program now, and obviously so does Auburn. And you know, I think Auburn is second in SEC championships behind Georgia. I think by one. I think when they won. Was it last year? Last year, I think that put them at 10 for the program. So I by no means was an All-American, not at all. I was a steady player. I didn't travel every week, and we were deep. So some weeks you play one, some weeks you sit on your butt. I made a lot of pars. I wasn't making 6 birdies in a round. That just wasn't my game. But I was a steady type player. So.
My game as well. Not the pars, not the birdies, the bogeys.
Steady bogeys.
With not a lot of birdies in
But
there.
it's steady, man. Steady.
Couple doubles
Consistency.
in
Couple
there.
doubles, mix them in.
I've only golfed for 15 holes.
Exactly.
Right?
Maybe not.
There's times where I'm like, if it were 15 holes, like I might have made some money doing this.
So what's some of your favorite courses to play in this area? Give me within 2 hours drive.
Within 2 hours drive, well, one of them doesn't exist anymore, and that happens to be
Auburn.
the one
Auburn Links.
where I met Dan Moon. The whole reason it's Moon Golf,
Where
Auburn
you beat
Links,
Dan Moon.
where I beat Dan Moon
Several times.
The first
Is he
time.
over there? Where you-
He's over there. He's
There he is.
he's putting money in the register. So, but no, Auburn Links was great. I mean, if it were still here, gosh, I would love it. But here in this area, I mean, how do you not like Grand National Lake Course?
Yeah.
We played a lot of rounds when I was in school there. Obviously, Saugahatchee AU Club was very new, and so was Moore's Mill. I grew up playing at the Country Club of Birmingham, so very, very blessed to have been able to play both of those courses.
It's a sweet track.
It's pretty
amazing,
fantastic.
actually.
And then Willow Point, I mean, up at Lake Martin is it is a fantastic golf
Fantastic course,
so,
too.
I'd say those are some of my. I like Greystone too. A lot of courses up in Birmingham, but really all of them here are great. I mean, Hines is great. I can't wait to see what it looks like when
we're
it's
excited.
Same.
when it's finished. And I think they're about to close down. Like
Yeah.
they have,
Yeah.
Last week.
9 already. They're closing the rest at the end of this month.
Gotcha.
And then they're scheduled to open November. Just November.
He's our
next
local
Yeah.
club, local club.
That's
journalist.
impressive though to be able to knock it out in
Yeah.
in a
year.
year.
Apparently, they started excavating some of it already.
I wish Auburn Links was still here. I mean, Auburn could use another public facility.
I got to play it like I feel like it was maybe a year before it closed,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What? Why?" Because I didn't
know.
understand.
I
And then
know.
I drove by it the other day, and I was like, "It's just a pasture now."
bunch
or
of
grow-"
weeds.
Yeah, and I was like,
Homes and
"It was almost
yeah.
wasted."
It was a great little
Somebody
layout
bought it,
because
let
it
it
was. You felt like every hole, like you didn't see. There's only a few holes where you could see the next hole.
And it was,
Right.
and it was long. too.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved
18
it.
was a bear, so I just remember 18 being a bear. So,
It was.
Somebody bought it, one of the houses and apartments on it instead.
yeah, they had that crystal ball
Yeah.
pre-COVID. I think they would have thought differently.
We'll have to get you out to the fields then. Have you ever been out there?
have not.
It's a link style course. We'll have to get you out there.
Love it.
Wide open. If
Wide
you
open.
miss on
Perfect
some
for
of the
us, our
holes,
golf flight like that. Perfect for us.
Oh, Justin would.
Justin would
drive
love
there
that.
and then, yeah,
That's-
one of our
yeah.
competitors. I gotta play something wide open. So
That's
he
it.
struggled.
Very
up in
long,
Birmingham.
just a little bit left and right. That's right.
Yeah.
Whenever you graduated college, you became a sales rep for Callaway. Is that right?
Yeah, there was a few different steps before that. I did what every collegiate golfer does and thinks they're going to go win a U.S. Open. I mean, that was pipe dream, right? So I gave it a little of a go. Learned I hate to practice. I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate it so much, and I'm like, why am I trying to make this a career? So, no more. And my husband Dan at the time was working for Evan Watts up in Birmingham. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them. Before they were bought out, so they had like almost 80, 90 locations at the time. And so I kind of worked a little bit there. And then I was actually a nanny, believe it or not. It's one of the best jobs I've ever had. It was a great job. And then he got promoted to run a store in Jacksonville. So we went there. That's when I got connected with Callaway. So the rep down there was looking for somebody to do their demo days. And Dan volunteered me because I did not have a job and I needed a job. So that was kind of the start of my relationship with them. And then we went to Savannah. He got promoted one more time. I kind of went full-time retail with him, did demo days on the side, and then got a call to put my name in the hat for a territory in Melbourne, which is where we ultimately went, and was a rep there for 7 years before leaving that world.
So are you a big Callaway person?
You know, Callaway's a great company, great brand. It was great working for them. They were really good to me. I learned a whole lot about the other side of the business, which I think has helped us thrive coming back to retail. So I would say the first, you know, and it's funny because, like, you know, I have my boss now, like, services my old boss now, like, if I call him up and say, hey, yes, and whatever you want, yes, and whatever you want. And they're really great
nice.
to Moon Golf. So, you know, that relationship is very, very strong. They take care of our team. You know, they helped fund a trip this year. We went to Streamsong. We took our whole company to Streamsong. We closed the stores in Florida before we opened here for 3 days, and they kind of helped fund a good portion of that, which was incredible. So they're a great partner. My answer would be I am a fan of whatever performs best for you. I have Callaway in the bag, but I have other brands in the bag as
So
well.
professional. Do you hear that answer?
Well, that's exactly what I would say to anybody that walked in the store.
That's good.
So,
Callaway's probably the one brand that none of us have ever. You had a couple drivers.
I thought
My iron,
you just got
I have
irons.
Callaway
Yeah,
irons.
yeah. Me too. I'm still hitting a driver, putter, ball, wedges. So, and I go back and forth. You know, I'm a tinkerer just like you guys are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I try to buy strokes any way I can.
You can buy a game.
We know.
I've done it. I've had a lot of success against this guy beside me
At the
lately.
Pines, but luckily they're redoing the Pines, and we don't have to play it no more.
Yeah.
It's getting fit to me. I hope.
Do you have any time to keep up with like the professional, the LPGA or just the regular PGA?
Yeah, I mean, do I go home and watch golf every weekend? No, I don't. I mean, obviously, I follow a lot of players on social media. Actually, we have a former Auburn Tiger by the name of Kaylee Telfer in the house right now. She's,
Oh, right there.
she's right over there.
Right there.
We need to make a connection there in a minute.
She's from South Africa and is on the Epson Tour. Just finished the Epson Tour this year. I think we'll have status next year, but we've kind of helping her get her professional career going, and so she rocks some Moon Golf gear. And then Randy's been working with her as well to kind of help the physical side of it,
Yeah.
help strengthen parts of her body, I guess, to
Yeah.
help her game. And so I mean, I keep up with it. I bet you guys keep up with it more than I do, though. I mean, I'm a
Yeah, we kind of text a lot about back and forth.
Yeah.
Which just kind of leads to the Moon Golf Invitational that you
Yeah.
put on. You go with that?
Yeah.
So we're big proponents too of seeing the LPGA kind of grow. It don't get as much light as we think it
Right.
should. So recently, the QBE shootout last week had the event where there's 2 LPGA players on it, and next year they said they're going to mix the whole field up. Like, I want to see a major with the LPGA and PGA together. But did you like that format where it's kind of the PGA LPGA together, or how do you think the game they could grow it a little bit better with
I
this?
think with events just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of eyeballs on the men's circuit, and you know, I think I actually like watching women's golf better, to be honest with you, because the rhythm,
I think they strike the ball better. They're so consistent.
oh, they do, yeah. Well, you know, and it's a lot of our guys, you know, they're in here testing out equipment, they're swinging out of their shoes, and to Randy's point, one of them left and right, and they always are like, oh, you never miss a fairway. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not swinging 115 miles an hour every single time. So, you know, watching the women play, I enjoy watching it, but I think the best way to help them is events like this, so more people can be exposed to how talented they are, because they truly are. I mean, they don't miss fairways, they make a lot of putts, they hit it tight, and it would be great for women's golf.
So this is y'all 6th year doing?
Yeah, we're going into year 6. This is the second year. The second year it'll be at Suntree Country Club, back in Melbourne. Another very, very strong field. I can't list all the teams off the top of my head, but Auburn obviously will be there. Alabama will be there. Florida State defending champs. LSU. Michigan State. So we got some schools from up north. Louisville actually hosts the event. And one of my former teammates, Courtney Swain was her maiden name, used to be the coach at Louisville, and she 6 years ago, hey man, we need to have a tournament in Melbourne. We want to come to Florida in February because it's nice. And I was like, okay, what does that look like? And so here we are. The girls get to come in and go shopping at our local Moon Golf there. They get a $150 gift card to go shopping. We give them all kinds of swag. I mean, hoodies, quarter zips. But the event is one of the strongest in women's golf now. So
That's awesome.
Last year we had 15 teams, 11 were in the top 25, 5 in the top 10.
Oh,
So I think there was 18 to 22 individuals that played at Augusta. So it's a pretty awesome event. We're very proud of it, and we have a surprise. Last year, Madeline Sackstrom spoke at the College Am party. We actually do a College Am before during the practice round. This year's speaker is, I can't name it yet,
That's fine,
but
that's
it's pretty awesome.
Zach and I were actually talking about trying to go down there and get like
should.
inside the ropes and
We should.
capture the whole weekend.
Would love
Yeah.
it.
Be part of the media crew and just
We would know that.
drone
That's-
footage, the whole.
He's our in-house journalist, so he would love it. He'd be walking around with a notepad
I would just strap a GoPro to my chest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't miss anything.
One of our iPads, let them right now.
yeah.
You would have a lot of
But
fun.
we'd love to come down
Yeah.
and film it and just watch everybody. And
We'd have a lot of fun. Like last year, we had the electronic scoreboard. Like we dress it up. We try to make it look like a first-class event. Year one, I mean, not very strong field, and you know, I'm a competitor. And I'm like, Cody, why can't we get better teams here? You know, just be patient. You know, hold your date. So it's always President's Day weekend, or that whatever President's Day is. It's always going to be around there. And yeah, so now people know the Moon Golf Invitational. They know our dates. So these teams, they plan their schedules well in advance, so they know when it's going to be, and they hope for an invite.
So you're saying trust the process.
Trust the process.
That's, I know a guy that's.
here we go, Nick Saban. Here we go.
I know a guy that says that.
Do you know
all
him
the
really?
time.
Do you know him?
Yeah, well,
He helped pay.
No,
for
I
the
also say it to
Okay,
some
all right.
of our members. I'm like,
it's true.
everything's
true.
day by day, step by step.
Step by step.
Just like Rome, wasn't built in a day, wasn't tore down in a day.
Crawl, walk, run.
Yeah,
Right?
It's a grind.
That's what I tell our new guys. Crawl, walk, run.
Oh, that's
That's
what-
that's kind of
That's a
our
course to
trust
me.
the process.
That's what I need for my golf swing.
Just make that our motto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then put
crawl, walk, run.
and moon underneath it.
Oh yeah.
That's where we got it from.
That's fine.
Where do you think, and you don't have to go deep into it, the health of golf right now? Like, what are you thinking with the tour stuff, with just the random people joining into it, maybe diversity in golf?
Yeah, I
little-
mean, I think you and I can both kind of talk about this because, you know, we were very blessed. I mean, COVID. You heard Randy. All I did was play golf during COVID, right?
That's right.
He and thousands of other people in Florida. I'm not gonna lie. We had to shut our stores down for 6 weeks, and I was completely panicked. I didn't know. I had no idea. It's before PPP. You know, what are we gonna do? I still got to pay my employees. Got to pay rent. Like, how is this all gonna work? And so I got very familiar with eBay, which I hate. I never want to do that again. You know, and we started with like older product stuff that was maybe not current, stuff that we just needed to turn into cash. And so me and a couple of our guys, we took pictures, we listed, we went back and forth with eBay buyers, and some of them were a little unrealistic at times. And I know Easter Sunday, that night, we closed like 80 auctions. And so we went up like late that night and had everything ready to ship out the next day, and drummed up quite a bit of business, and really not at a profit, obviously, but for cash flow. But long story short, our marketing firm in May was like, the heat map on your website, and our website is going to change dramatically sometime in Q2. It's going to be shoppable. It's being worked on right now. So for the love of golf is going to disappear. But anyways, the heat map was crazy. It wasn't just in Florida. Like, it was all over the country, and it was because our shipping label said Moon Golf, because we were shipping all over for eBay. So if there's anything positive of that little stretch, was a lot of people learned more about who we were just by simply looking it up. But, you know, when we opened back up May 11th, like, we literally haven't stopped since. And so for that next year, I mean, every day was a record day. Every month was a record month. And I almost felt a little guilty, right? Because there's so many businesses that were not so fortunate. So that first year was incredible. The next year was still very good. You know, we're starting to see it kind of as the country opened back up and people are traveling more, they're more comfortable. So we're starting to see it not at the same level, still at a level that I am very happy with, that I wasn't sure we'd ever reach. So I think it's in a good place. My only concern would be prices. You know, people that have just gotten into the game, they're getting into the game kind of like buying a house right now when it's up here.
Right.
You know, and it's you used to be able to come in and get an inexpensive cart bag for $99, right? That same bag is $170 today. $165. So that's my only concern, is that we're gonna kind of freak out all these new players, because it is, and current players. So I hope that, you know, manufacturers pay attention to that, and, you know, we'll always try to take advantage of some opportunity buys. But all in all, I think a lot of the new players are continuing to play, and that's what we want to see.
It shows on the tee times. Anytime we try to book a tee time, if you're not calling 7-10 days ahead, it's 2 o'clock.
What about for you, Randy? Has more people taken it seriously, trying to get better?
Yeah, that's trying to run a business like mine 10 years ago, I don't think you'd ever make it, you know. But I think as players have become more fit, it's become more a part of it, and then just more people are playing, right? And the interest is getting better, and you can only buy so much distance, right? At some point, you got to change the machine that makes the distance, and so people are understanding that. So. I think the interest level is so high, and someone like me can do something like this now because of that, because there just wasn't that interest level probably even 5 or 10 years ago. But
that makes a lot of sense. And what are some key characteristics about your stores and your employees that you think set yourself apart from, like, the big chains?
Oh, I can't stand the PGA Superstore.
I didn't even want to name drop them,
I
but
can't stand them.
You know, I've been in a lot of golf stores, obviously. Dan and I both have, you know, working for another retailer, and then working for Callaway, calling on all different types of retailers. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of things that I didn't want to do once we made this decision to leave the Callaway world and jump over here. It's all about the experience for us. I mean, you know, again, people are coming through your doors, and they're interested in spending some serious money, and, you know, you got to make them feel like, our goal is to make them feel like they're king or queen of the world. I mean, it really is about that. We really get to know our customers. It's about the relationships that we build. Like, our guys won't make a recommendation. Our guys ever, if it's not right for you. Our guys are, like, they know better than to do something like that. But it's not just hey, how can we help you? It's, man, did you see that football game? Or, you know, you can tell when somebody's been on the golf course, right? A lot of times they have their shoes on, their gloves still in their back pocket. How'd you hit them today? You know, and a lot of times they're like, well, I'm here, you know, so clearly not very good. I need more balls or whatever. So we just try to have fun. It's a high energy environment. We're golf junkies, just like everybody that walks through our doors, and we truly want to get to know them, each and every one of them. How many kids they have, where they're from. And in Florida, anytime you say where you're from, they're never going to say Florida. They're usually from somewhere else. Yeah. So we've learned a lot about a lot of different people, and have great friendships and great customers because of it. We're never going to have as much inventory as a PGA Superstore. You know, that's the only thing we feel like they can beat us with. You know, what we do back here in these spinning bays, that's kind of our core business. It's what we do best. It's who we are. Golf Digest, you know, has recognized us as a top 100 club fitter. We're very, very proud of that. So, you know, we love this part of it, but we love just getting to know our people and creating a great experience for them when they come in. And if we screw up, you know, we're going to fix it, and we are going to, if we get a bad review, because it happens, you can't make everybody happy. We follow up with that. We follow up with the good and the bad. So, if you look at our reviews, we take pride in, and it's not some automated, call our HR department or call our this. It's like, email me, call me personally. How can I get this? How can we make it better?
Yeah, and that's not words. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been here a lot. I spent a lot of time here, and I've been to a lot of those other golf stores, and it's not comparable. I mean, the level of service, the number of people they have. They don't have to have all these people on the floor. You go to some of those stores, and no one even speaks to you, right?
Yeah.
You're just walking around aimlessly.
Yep.
There's no way you're coming in here and not getting spoken to. It's obviously part of their culture, and again, that's kind of why I wanted to link up with them, because it was obvious that that's how they treat people.
If you struggle talking to people, you're probably not going to be a good fit for us.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we love it because there's another store in the area that we used to have to go to, and if you want to get your clubs regripped, they're like, oh gosh, Kyle from the shoe department, can you regrip clubs? And you're trying to find somebody to do
Well, I
it.
wonder what store that is.
Yeah, she knows about my first.
Yeah, like his clubs sat there for 3 weeks, but so we're thankful, we're glad we're here.
And they had it done for me in 4 days.
Money, and he still can't hit it, but that's not y'all's fault.
Yeah, he's coming to full swing soon.
I was going to say, let them come see Ray.
Yeah.
I've only played it 3 times since I picked it up.
And it's been bad all 3. But we don't want to talk about
We
that.
don't.
We're talking about y'all
I did
tonight.
pretty good with the last one.
We're talking about the last.
If we need to,
One out of
check it
20.
out, though, bring it in. Let us know.
It's not. It's
It's
not
like
the
he
club.
said, it's not the club, it's the machine that needs to be worked on.
I'm ready to talk about the 4v1,
Okay,
4v2.
we got it. Here's what we got. All right. So like we were explaining earlier, we have the 4v1 series going right now. And so we're originally going to pitch it to see if, when you have free time, I know you said you don't have a lot of free time. Us 4 scramble, we're off around 15 handicaps. Brandy used to be a single digit until he started hanging out with us. And then his handicaps started going up. Ours started to stay where they're at. But if we can get somewhere that allow, and we're pretty quick, 4v2, we'd love to take scramble against us. It'd be filmed though. It's on the internet forever if you lose. Just know that.
We have a cameraman, which
Yeah.
if y'all two will play together, so we'll have a cameraman follow you.
And a
That way it's
cameraman
quick,
drive.
and then we'll film our stuff.
And we can play around.
Any course y'all want to, yeah.
Especially any country clubs you can get us on in the Auburn area that we haven't been
Preferably country clubs.
I think we could probably make something
I think we
happen.
can make
I
something
think we
happen, and we won't make any members mad. We can take the last tee time on the. It doesn't matter, but just know it's on the internet forever. We're currently 1-1
fine.
published. There's a video coming out that hasn't been published yet that's going to make our record a little better. So we're not looking to lose anymore, but we'd love the opportunity to do that.
So we scramble, the 2 of us scramble.
at us four.
All right.
And like I said, y'all probably
Where do I play from?
wherever you want.
Wherever you want.
That's what we.
What do
talked
you
about.
What do you play when you play Dan?
I mean, we normally just play, like I did for the first time, move up a box.
Yes.
But normally I'm like 6,000, 6,200.
That's,
You know.
yeah.
I'll
about
take 50.
5,800.
I'll take 5,800.
What are you
you
playing
know.
point?
Yeah.
I mean, we switched to tipping it out when we're foursome. So
But when we say tip, our course's tip's only like 6,400.
Gotcha.
Maybe not even that long.
Yeah. But no, you play wherever you want
Okay.
to. Yeah, and we can get it lined up. however in
wherever
the
you
future.
can sleep in peace at night when you play with us after.
As long as you're not wearing any of your.
Oh, I wear Be Still Golf.
There you go.
We're
Exactly.
branded.
There you
We're
go.
branded on all our merchandise.
Just to give y'all peace, I think the lowest we've shot as a 4-man's only like 6 under, so y'all don't have much to worry about. It's more for the
As
content.
long as Randy accelerates on those chip shots, I think we'll be in good shape. Right?
He might need to visit.
Yeah, put me on it.
He's got to visit Full Swing himself.
Full swing.
That's right, full swing.
We'll be
Oh,
that day.
yeah, not decelerate swing.
Yeah,
That's
no.
not the name of it.
No. I think that sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
I like it.
Challenge accepted.
Absolutely.
2 of us, I don't know about Randy, but 2 of us here are collegiate athletes. The rest, they don't have that mental aspect that me and you have. Like, there's another level we can go to.
I've seen your levels.
They don't have it. Are you a collegiate athlete?
No.
Okay, well, this is just me and you. We're collegiate athletes. They don't.
somebody to kick a soccer ball around. That's all.
Oh, soccer?
Collegiate soccer player.
Does that
scholarship.
count?
Let's count. Yeah, it counts.
Okay.
Lots of running.
Hey, it counts.
Lots of
Kids
running.
love soccer.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, but we'd love to do that.
Wire
schedule.
Road Soccer Complex 5 days a week.
Oh, she's there a lot. That's more than I did. So,
Where'd you play?
Point University.
Okay.
NAIA, not NCAA, but it's okay. It's
College
okay.
athlete.
See?
You're a college athlete.
They
Southern
don't-
Union got
I
a
played
golf team
intramural
right after I
basketball.
graduated,
Does that
so I couldn't
count?
do it.
Which, hey, we'll ask her the question from last week. Okay. You have both y'all can answer. You get dropped in these four areas you can choose from. Your country is on the line, like their pride. Do you take a free throw, a 6-foot putt, a penalty kick, or a 25-yard field goal? And your country's pride's on the line.
What was the first one?
Free throw,
Okay.
6-foot putt, penalty kick, or a 25-yard field goal.
I played a lot of basketball growing up. I'd be a free throw for
That's
sure.
what I said. I said
I
free
played
throw.
basketball all the way through high school, so I'm kind of leaning that, but like definitely not the field goal. No,
Are you taking the straight 6-foot putt?
just straight like.
Or do we want it to have some break in it?
You don't know. You have to read the
You
break.
have to read the green. We just drop it on the
Depends
green.
on where her pin location
I've
is.
never
for the day.
trusted my putting. My country's
I
pride.
mean, yeah, the other day I wouldn't, but I would probably go free throw.
That's what I'm saying.
See, we've got such a debate. We're about to go film it in a
All
week just to
four of
see-
them and see how many we can make.
See who can do the most out of
Well,
it.
I
You're
played
going
keeper in high
PK,
school.
obviously.
And he's going to be blocked. I played keeper in high school on the same team.
You hear that? Some of us went levels. There's
Like all
levels.
like all years of your high school, or just
The
one?
one year I played,
One
I
year.
started. I started.
because the other keeper got injured.
Well, they didn't have nobody else.
Here I was.
I was a starter. That's all it said on my
How many,
Letterman
How many
jacket.
goals did they make on you?
Oh, that was a bunch.
We did not have a good
It
season.
was 07, so they didn't keep up
like
with
my
it like
freshman year, we
today.
didn't have a good season, but that's not on him. I'm not gonna blame him.
It was a lack of offensive.
You didn't score
production.
enough goals.
That's what
I
I'm
was a
saying.
defender, midfield.
Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't good enough to score.
You so dumb.
I think I'm.
They
going
got
free
past
throw.
him and got
Exactly.
to the
And
goalie.
they got to me.
Yeah.
Who's
My last line of
mean,
defense
You know,
bailed on
because
me.
you scheduled an assessment, Randy's on your side.
Yeah.
I'm about to schedule me one.
I'm going
Yeah,
free
my
throw
hands
all
would be- I
day.
mean, your country's. My hands would be like this.
You have to move
I
to.
can-
You
yeah.
have to move to Canada tomorrow if you miss.
I mean, if you miss, you're out.
Oh,
Why can't
Quebec,
I
French
mean, I've
speaking.
never taken a penalty kick, so I don't even know what that's like. Could I try all of them?
Yeah, yeah.
first
Oh,
and
yeah.
Let us film it. We love to film it as well. Awesome.
right. No, that would be
Real quick, was there a really cool moment in college, like maybe a putt you sunk to win something or anything like that?
Well, I did not, believe it or not, break 70 until I was in college.
Oh wow.
I'd shot 70 a million times leading up, and I want to say it was my sophomore, junior year. Dan would know. Dan would know. I think it was junior year. He's like really weird with dates. He knows all of them. We were at Gainesville, and I actually lipped out on the last hole to shoot 68. So that was kind of a cool thing for me, just that moment of breaking 70 in competition. Our team won. I think I finished tied for fourth individually. And the funny thing about this is, like, and obviously you guys don't know my family, but my mom and my grandmother I'm very different than them. I'm a total tomboy, like, love sports, always in a hat. They're very Southern
and
belles,
proper.
prim and proper, and so they made me do these, like, debutante balls. You know what I'm talking about.
she grew up in
It's a-
Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
that
enough
explains
said,
a lot.
right? There we go.
I
It's
started-
sorry.
I started at UAB. I started at UAB and then
Couldn't cut it.
leveled up to Alabama.
Oh,
so I'm
gotcha.
very familiar.
I graduated from
with Mountain
UAB.
Brook.
So
Physical
I
therapy
had
school.
I had to do those, whatever you call them, cotillions,
pageants.
whatever.
Cotillion. Don't even remember the name
Oh
of it.
no.
You got some photos
There's-
we can throw up on them?
We're gonna
There's a
start
couple, but the one, so I did, there's 4 of them I had to do. And the one I missed was like the granddaddy of them all, the crew ball. It was like the big thing. And my mom was so pissed off at me. Like, my grandmother was so mad. They were so mad. And I'm like, I don't think Auburn cares about this. Like, I'm a scholarship athlete.
Same.
I have to go to this tournament. And I ended up having my best individual finish and broke 70 for the first time. So
Well
that was
worth
kind of cool.
and balanced out.
Yeah. I mean, I did 3.
Yeah.
Can I miss one?
Yeah.
She's like, I would have rather you done that one and missed the other 3. And I'm like, well, it just doesn't work that way. So that was fun. And then we actually also got to go to Japan when I was here, which was an amazing trip. It was us in Southern Cal for the women, and then the men was UAB, Virginia Tech, and I can't remember the other 2 schools. But like Graham McDowell was there, and Johnson Wagner at Vodtech, and I actually was leading after the first round, shot 70, leading the tournament. and then proceeded to throw up all over myself the next day and signed for an incorrect scorecard and got DQ'd. No, not that my score was going to count. It was no big deal. We won the tournament, got to go hang out in Tokyo for like 2 or 3 days after the event, which was just a whole different world over there. It was amazing, and then got back 2 days before 9/11.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which was, and I was, my time was all messed up when all that went down. But yeah, that was a cool trip and a lot of great memories playing on the golf team here. So
I once made a big putt to get win the 5th flight of the member guest at Moore's Mill.
Oh, what?
Moore's Mill.
Just so
Now
you
that
know.
sounds like a place
big.
we could play.
It was huge.
we
It
could
was.
play Moore's Mill. Yeah, they
I think only Brady's been. Oh, you've been to Moore's Mill, right? Oh no, Brady. Yeah, Brady's
I
got
played it like a
connections
month
in
ago.
What'd you shoot?
94.
We are looking for a connection to Salgahatchee.
Absolutely.
We can do that.
That was some of the hardest
So for
greens
the
I
match,
put it on.
Let's throw. We'll throw
We ain't
winners.
on yet.
We'll throw in BSG hats, maybe some moon golf hats.
Oh, yeah.
For hats.
Absolutely.
That's what we'll do.
Absolutely, we can.
And then on 18, when I shake, I want to put on the moon golf hat.
If it makes it that far.
You're right. We've been finishing
We haven't broke 15 yet.
Yeah. So just be ready for early round.
We'll be ready.
We'll be ready.
We'll be ready.
Well, cool.
Absolutely.
Anyone, y'all good questions? We appreciate y'all.
That was awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for.
Oh, thank you.
Check them out. This is a great area. We love it here. So see y'all next time.
War Eagle.
Swing, moon golf.
War Eagle.
Hold
War
tight.
Dam.